Good morning, great morning, wonderful morning, spectacular morning, outstanding morning, magnificent morning, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious morning. Oh, yes, again, the beautiful reminder of choice that you have, I have, that we all have. And isn't it wonderful? Isn't it amazing that we get to choose how things mean? Yeah, it is. It's pretty freaking great. And we're so grateful that you are using this in your life as well. So, with that, before we go even deeper into what we're talking about, I want to say thank you for your patience with regards to everything that happened last week and all of the stuff that we were doing Elevitality wise, that you were patient with us as we were maneuvering through that, and that you were still involved with what all these calls and going through the replays as well. And we hope that it's served you really well too as well. Isn't it really awesome how we have those there available for you? And oh my gosh, it's really awesome because at times even I go back and reflect on those as well. So thank you for that. We definitely appreciate it. So here we are again on this beautiful day. And we're going over this beautiful gem here, The Science of Getting Rich. And our recommendation, if you don't have a copy of this, is to get a copy of it, to get this specific copy if you don't have it. And then when you do get it, to highlight it, underline it, yes, even memorize it, but most importantly, apply it in your life. See, use, that's where it's at. Remember, all the information that we share with you has no power in and of itself. The only way that it has power is when it's used. It's the same with instructions for a device or something that you buy. The instructions are there, but you're not going to get any use out of those instructions and those instructions unless you use it. Same with the key, same with everything. And here we're talking about your mind and how the universe works. And with that, we do have this hope that you will use this as if your life depends on it. You know why? Because it does. It does 100%. All right, so shall we dive back into this? Let's go back into where we are in this beautiful gem, The Science of Getting Rich. And we have talked about what we've gone over before, but we are going to go over some of it again. And that's the reason why is because it's really important. Okay, so let me go ahead and switch this over here. And we're on page 71. And previously we talked about how you shouldn't make a study of the poor, that you shouldn't put any emphasis on the poor. And isn't that interesting how that's exactly what's happening with, or what's been happening with a lot of the government, a lot of reinforcement of being poor, affordable, those kinds of words. You don't want to do that. It's not good. It keeps people in their cycle, of which is a habit. Remember, people form habits, habits form futures. You want to change your life, you got to change your habits. And we're talking about habits, we're talking about a mental process that happens inside of you automatically. See, if you want to attract more riches into your life, you're not going to be able to attract more riches into your life by thinking of things that are rooted in its opposite. It doesn't work that way. You have to have thoughts that are of wealth, of abundance, of prosperity. See, Robert Collier talked about this beautifully in his book, The Secret of the Ages. In his chapter, The Primal Cause, he talks about how the secret of all power, all riches, all wealth is in first thinking thoughts that are in harmony with that, and is in first thinking powerful thoughts, successful thoughts, thoughts of wealth, of supply. We must build them in our own mind first. So again, like attracts like, everything produces after its kind. You have to think in harmony with the outcome that you seek, not with thoughts of its opposite. Now, in terms of helping the people who are poor to get rich, the best way for you to help poor people is to get rich yourself. Now, again, let that sink in for a moment. Get rich. That is the best way you can help the poor. Now, think about how society and a lot of people who are trying to deal with poverty think that's cold hearted and crazy. Oh my gosh, how dare you go and do that when their people are struggling? Well, that's crazy thinking. That just keeps them in their cycle. Anybody who says that, who's constantly thinking about that and moving in that direction, oh my gosh, stay away from them. Those people are reinforcing that cycle, and you hear it everywhere. Just listen to the language that's spoken, especially, with leaders and so forth, the ones who are constantly talking about poverty. It's not affordable, it's too expensive, are keeping people in that cycle. That's not a good thing. Okay, so get rich. That is the best way you can help the poor. And you cannot hold the mental image, which is to make you rich, if your mind is filled with pictures of poverty. If your mind is filled with, I can't afford it, it costs too much, it's too expensive, it may be a fact that that's what the case is, but don't think it. Type this in the comments. If I don't want it, don't think it. That is an amazing truth that will help you tremendously. That comes from Robert Russell. And You Too Can Be Prosperous. That's an amazing book, too. So, again, really sit in that for a moment. If you don't want it, don't think it. Manifestation is thought externalization. If you look in the world you're in right now, this physical world, it is nothing more than the externalization of thoughts, the externalization of many thoughts. And that's something really important to get. So again, get rich. That is the best way to help the poor. Not by continuing more thoughts of poverty. And you cannot hold the mental image, which is to make you rich, if you fill your mind with pictures of poverty. Don't read books or papers which give you circumstantial accounts of wretchedness, of the tenement dwellers, of the horrors of child labor, and so on. And by the way, that doesn't mean to work to overwrite it, because that's crazy. That's insanity. It's nuts. That's evil. With that being said, don't spend your mind absorbed in that. Do not read anything which fills your mind with gloomy images of want and suffering. Why? Because like attracts like. If you want to rid the world of thoughts of, I should say, the results that are anything like that, you've got to rid the minds of people to have those images that are in harmony with that. Now, in terms of those things, you cannot help the poor in the least by knowing about these things. And the widespread knowledge of them does not tend to do away with poverty. And isn't that interesting how that's how the world operates? Oh, you got to know about it. You know what you got to know about? You got to know about wealth and abundance, and success and peace and love. That's what you got to connect with. That's what you got to be one with. Because that's how it gets externalized as an outcome. Now sit in that for a moment. Remember, like attracts like. Type that in the comments. Like attracts like. Like attracts like. Will you be able to be happy most of the time if your mind is saturated with sadness and disappointment? What's the answer? Absolutely not. It doesn't work. Like attracts like. Things are not brought into existence by thinking of their opposites. There's no way you're going to be able to attract wealth, abundance, success in your life if your mind is saturated with thoughts of, I can't afford it, it costs too much, it's too expensive, it's unaffordable, or even the word affordable. That's not good. You got to rid yourself of that. Now, before we proceed further, for those of you who are watching this live stream and are feeling connected to what we're sharing with you here and would love to rid your outer results of lack, limitation, poverty, I don't have enough, then do yourself a favor and go to elevitality.com and register for Master Your Mind. You will thank yourself later. You will, 100%. All right, so let's